I just walked away from a multi-million-dollar acquisition. Let me tell you what happened. We had been exploring this company for months. The initial interaction with the broker and the owner were great. The business was right in my science expertise areas and the profit was solid. They were selling it at a discount because the company was at a growth stage and they hadn't systemized all the processes yet. The owner is retiring, he's tired, he didn't want to put in the work to do all that, he just wanted to sell it quickly. On paper, it seemed like a profitable company with huge growth potential. But as usual in this game, once you get into the due diligence stage, the red flags start popping up. First, the customer base was way more concentrated than we expected. Turns out 88% of the revenue came from just 2 clients. That's way more risk than they had initially disclosed. Next, getting documents was like pulling teeth. They were so unwilling to provide unredacted bank statements and purchase orders, which are critical if you don't have recurring revenue like it's standard in that industry. The lack of transparency was so frustrating. And the biggest red flag? The financials. After we started due diligence, they came back and they said the profits were actually understated. But they said, you know what, we'll still sell at the agreed upon price on the LOI. But when we asked for accountant verified financial statements, they refused to provide them. They had accountant prepared, but those were not verified. They didn't want to pay to get this done. They wanted us to cover the cost instead. That was the deal breaker. One of my coaches once told me it's better to walk away from a potentially good deal than to dive face first into a horrible one. And trust me, refusing proper financial verification when selling your company, I've never seen that before. We had actually offered them a pretty good deal with a lot of upside, but you can't ignore those red flags. If you want to sell your business, my advice is simple. Get your affairs in order. Be ready, be transparent, or you will scare the right buyers. Also, if you're going to use a broker, make sure it's someone that's very attentive and properly prepares you and your business for a smooth exit. That is surprisingly hard to find. No offense, I have a lot of broker friends who I love and are amazing, but I am done transacting through brokers. But that's a story for another time. This was a tough call, but walking away was the right move. What do you think? I want to hear your thoughts below. Follow me for more real stories and insights on buying, scaling, and eventually exiting your business.